Business is complicated, and while building up a rapid site to represent that business, it's inevitably going to get complicated as well. To help you get the data you want when you want it, there are some advanced navigation techniques available. When you know something about the item you want but aren't even sure what list it lives in, there is search. Search can be universally accessed at the top of the screen on all Explorer pages. Press the search button to bring up the search dialog prompt. This search dialog can access any field marked as searchable in your lists. Let's search for peer number now with value 771. You'll see our search will find matching items and categorizes them into their respective lists. This helps prevent confusion when creating items with similar titles across different lists. We know we're searching for a purchase order, so let's select the purchase order list now. You'll also see it has only matched a single purchase order. Clicking that purchase order will open the item in its own flyout without changing our current context. Now let's navigate over to the invoices list. Generally, for lists that get a lot of use, there are common patterns in what kind of items you want to display. For example, it would be pretty handy when trying to pay an invoice to only see the payable and unpaid ones. Now we could search for unpaid at the top of the list, but this can get pretty messy. Quick filter for paid, notice how both paid and unpaid items are found, as it's a fuzzy match. Instead, we can set up a custom view that filters out items we don't want. To do this, first let's clone our current all view by selecting the view selector on the data table and pressing the clone this view button. This opens the edit view flyout pane. I want this new view to show payable and unpaid invoices, so I'm going to name it payable unpaid. It would also be useful to have the invoices sorted by due date, so let's select due date in the default sort column and pick ascending so the oldest are at the top. Filter the invoices so we can focus on just the ones we want. We need to build a filter for this new view. Filters follow conditional query logic. They're built up of logical statements for what items should be included. Each statement is comprised of a set of rules, often only a few, that can be grouped up for more sophisticated behavior. We want 2 rules, so let's add them now. While writing these rules, it's good to break down exactly what you want to do into a single sentence. We want to see invoices that are marked as payable and unpaid. Note the AND in that sentence. With these 2 rules, let's mark the conditional operator as AND. The first rule is checking the status of the invoice, so let's select its status and make sure it's equal to payable. For the second rule, let's select the payment status and ensure it's not equal to paid. Setting up a view, feel free to select the columns you want visible in the list. Toggling these on and off lets you control what columns are displayed in the list and is specific to the current view. You can also drag columns to change their order. Nice, now just hit save at the bottom and we have a new view. This view is now available to other users as well, so you can share useful views for each list. Sometimes we care about how items are related instead of just finding the ones we want on a single list. Items start to build meaningful relationships between each other. For example, finding the invoices that pay a certain purchase order quickly would be rather handy. To start building these relationships, first let's open our purchase order. On the right hand side, you can see the triple dot extension menu. Opening this will open the Universal Links flyout pane. Universal links allow you to connect any item to any other item from a different list to build networks of relationships. Let's add a new universal link to this purchase order for its corresponding invoice. This will bring up the now familiar search menu. Let's find our invoice by searching for it and then selecting it. Note the green highlight on the new universal links. This indicates the link hasn't been saved yet. Let's just save this purchase order to commit it. Nice, we now link the order to the invoice. Once 2 items are linked, you can easily navigate to the other end by clicking the Open Item button. See how it opens the linked item on its own pane over the top. Now we can start getting around Explorer a lot more effectively and begin building up meaning across multiple lists. Check out our next video where we start collaborating with the team through notifications.